Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. As I'm sure you've heard, this channel is sponsored by Ultimate Guard. I know you have a lot of options to choose from out there when it comes to sleeves, but my personal favorites are the ones made by Ultimate Guard. I've tried other companies before, but no other sleeve has the balance of both durability and shuffle feel that I find with Ultimate Guard. Find out if your local game store carries Cortex sleeves from Ultimate Guard, or click on the link down below to order yourself a set from Amazon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Brett. Huge thanks to Brett and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Brett reached out asking for a truly evil deck built around Soul of Windgrace. The theme? Mass land destruction. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Soul of Windgrace is a 4-mana, 5/4 legendary cat avatar. Whenever he enters the battlefield or attacks, we may put a land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield, tapped under our control. He also has 3 activated abilities. For the cost of 1 green and discarding a land card, we gain 3 life. For the cost of 1 generic, 1 red, and discarding a land card, we draw a card and then discard a card. Finally, for the cost of 2 generic, 1 black, and discarding a land card, Soul of Windgrace gains indestructible until end of turn, but we also tap him. That last ability is how WotC's been handling Regenerate for the past few years. So for you new Magic players, if you're wondering how Regenerate works, it's functionally tap this creature, it gains indestructible until the end of turn. Okay, listen over, back to the video. A deck like this wants a ton of lands, more so than our usual checklist. Speaking of which, we should go over it real quick. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. You know what? Let's just jump into the deck list and I'll explain how the deck works as we go. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Bloodstained Mire, Wooded Foothills, Verdant Catacombs, Polluted Delta, Arid Mesa, Windswept Heath, Marsh Flats, Scalding Tarn, Misty Rainforest, Zeatora's Proving Ground, Blood Crypt, Stomping Ground, Overgrown Tomb, Luxury Suite, Spire Garden, Undergrowth Stadium, Haunted Ridge, Rockfall Vale, Deathcap Glade, Dragon Skull Summit, Rootbound Crag, Woodland Cemetery, Argoth Sanctum of Nature, Field of the Dead, Bajuka Bog, Myriad Landscape, 2 swamps, 2 mountains, 3 forests, 2 snow-covered swamps, 2 snow-covered mountains, and 2 snow-covered forests make up our mana base. I know, normally in a 3-color deck I only run 6 fetch lands, but in this one we're running 9. Ramming Up Excavator, Conduit of Worlds, Crucible of Worlds, Perennial Behemoth, World Shaper, The Mending of Dominaria, and Life from the Loam. That's 7 ways to get lands from our graveyard, in addition to our commander. Additionally, we've got Azusa Lost but Seeking, Burgeoning, Exploration, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, and Oracle of Moldiah to let us play extra lands every turn. Rounding things out, we've got Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Lotus Cobra, Ignoble Hierarch, and Crop Rotation. The Gitrog monster goes nuts in this deck. Lord Windgrace also pairs nicely with our commander. Urg, Spawn of Turg, helps us to fill our graveyard and doubles as a beat stick when needed. Eternal Witness for some additional graveyard recursion. Faithless Looting, Big Score, Nahiri's Lithoforming, which quite frankly is disgusting in this deck, Phyrexian Arena, Black Market Connections, Wheel of Misfortune, and Demonic Tutor make up our card advantage package. Decimate, Abrade, Return to Nature, Braid's Arisen Nightmare, Beast Within, Pillage, Casualties of War, Leyline of the Void, Titania's Command, and Seismic Assault make up our interaction and spot removal package. Blasphemous Act, Toxic Deluge, and Death Cloud help us to reset the board as needed. Destructive Flow, Wildfire, Army Ants, Cleansing Wildfire, Tectonic Break, Boom Bust, Jocklehops, Thoughts of Ruin, Ruination, Epicenter, and Price of Glory work as our mass land destruction cards. Titania, Protector of Argoth, Titania, Voice of Gaia, Skewed Swarm, Obnixilis the Fallen, Moarg, Fury of Akum, Avenger of Zendikar, and Retreat to Hagra help us to close out the game and beat our opponents down. Now that we have our deck list, we should compare it to our checklist. 58 mana sources split between 40 lands and 18 pieces of ramp, counting our commander. I know that's a lot, but remember, a lot of the time the lands are just going to be sitting in our graveyard. 12 pieces of card advantage, counting our commander. 10 pieces of interaction. 3 board wipes. 4 pieces of graveyard hate in Return to Nature, Titania's Command, Leyline of the Void, and Bojuka Bog. 1 Sudden I Win card in Nahiri's Lithoforming. Seriously, this card is insane in this deck. So long as we have one of our ways to get our lands back from our graveyard, tapping and sacrificing all of our lands, drawing a ton of cards, and then replaying all those lands back from the graveyard is insane. We shouldn't be able to do it, but we can. Brett specifically requested to go all in on the evil side of this deck, and I was happy to do so. Mass land destruction gets a bad rap because there's always the possibility that someone at your table is a troll and just wants to watch the world burn. But it can be a viable strategy. Winning is part of the game, and so long as everyone is there just to play and have fun, how they win doesn't really matter. Do you have a Soul of Windgrace deck? What theme did you go with? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Ignis, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alex, Daniel, Steve, Kevin, and Alex. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.